Thank you for joining us. Today we're going to be visiting Canada and discuss the horrific, fatal polar bear attack on Aaron Gibbons. Please like, share, and subscribe to Where in the World is Frank and Gina. Simply type in Frank and Gina to get to our YouTube channel. Canada's Hudson Bay is a popular spot for fishing and hunting, specifically on Sentry Island. The waters surrounding the island are full of beluga whales and all types of marine life, all predated by a carnivorous creature, the largest carnivore on Earth, the polar bear. The polar bear is the largest land carnivore. Polar bear attacks on humans have been relatively scarce. However, the ones that have been reported, not many have been more devastating than the attack on Sentry Island. Aaron Gibbons was a father, a fisherman, and a neighbor who everyone could count on. Aaron had a large family with several children with whom he would frequently take fishing with him. Gibbons, who lived in Nunavut, the country's northernmost territory, was an experienced hunter and fisherman. As Aaron's kids continued to play, unaware of the lurking danger, Aaron most certainly knew of the dangers, and he kept an eye out. He had a .22 rifle with him. However, as they all left the boat, he perched it up against his boat instead of bringing it with him, which would serve to be a deadly point later on. As Aaron continued to watch over his kids while simultaneously attempting to look out for dangers of the polar bear, the kids were oblivious while they were collecting eggs. After all, there hadn't been a polar bear attack in years in this area. However, he knew he had to keep his eye out. Eventually, he started hearing noises, which became louder and closer. What Aaron didn't know is that an aging male bear was stalking them. It had refused hibernation due to starvation. And after initially seemingly starting to stalk the children, the bear picked up pace and Aaron diverted it by dashing in front of it. It now started stalking Aaron. Aaron yelled for his kids to get to the boat and call for help, and just as he did, the over 1,000-pound aging male polar bear started to maul him after catching him, ripping into his clothing and his flesh. As his children horrifically watched on in horror, the bear began to eat him even before rescuers could arrive, even though his daughter was able to successfully call for them. In the end, the rescuers did receive the beacon signal for an emergency. They arrived unseen and rescued the children. However, for Aaron, it was too late. They were able to shoot the aging male bear and kill it, but not before it continued to feed on Aaron's body before they arrived. The aging male polar bear, after an autopsy, was found to be starving, and that was one of the reasons why it attacked Aaron. However, polar bears don't need a reason to attack you. They will eat you in a heartbeat. In the end, Aaron Gibbons was a 31-year-old father. He loved fishing and hanging out with his kids. However, on the 4th of July 2018, those things changed, and a polar bear took his life. Please like, share, and subscribe to Where in the World is Frank and Gina on YouTube. Rest in peace to Aaron. Please be careful without hunting and fishing out near wildlife, as your life could depend on it. God bless. Take care.